What is up, YouTube? It's your boy LeeWalk71, PlayStation 4. I'm here with another wrestling review for you all. This one being WWE Super Showdown. Boy, oh boy, where do I even begin with this? This is what WWE's, when they start this, 2018, 2, 3. This is what their I guess their fifth. Yeah, this is their fifth. This is the halfway mark. This ain't the halfway mark. This is their fifth Saudi Arabia show. Last one we had was, I believe, was WWE Crown Jewel back in October, was it? Was it October? It was either October or November. I think it was November. But basically, by the time you've seen this, you already know what happened. I don't expect an in-depth review like the other ones I attempt to work on, because this one is going to be me just being upset because of what happened at the end. But anyways, let's get right into it. So first we had a pre-show match. We had the Viking Raiders versus the OC, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. I guess it's a follow-up of the last match they had in Saudi Arabia, because they had a gauntlet match. It was the best tag team in the world, and at the time the Viking Raiders were the tag champions. They ended up getting eliminated by the OC, and the OC is still known as their first loss on the main roster. So I guess they followed it up with a match on the pre-show. Wasn't that bad of a match. It was actually pretty cool. Viking Raiders did their stuff. You had Ivar do all of his flips and springboard stuff. You had Eric do his power moves and everything. The OC did the OC stuff. We get to the end of the match. Ivar tried to go for a moonsault. Like every match he's in, he misses the moonsault. And then it sets up for the OC hitting the Magic Killer and winning the match, which was actually a shock, because it almost seemed as though the Viking Raiders was going to win this match. Because, I mean, if you look at it, the OC has not been doing anything on the main roster. When AJ got hurt, they were literally jobbing to Drew McIntyre and Ricochet. So it's like, come on, like, you really think that? I didn't think that they were going to beat the Viking Raiders, because at least the Viking Raiders have been featured in main event roles. I don't know if they've been winning matches, but they've been in main event spots, teaming with Kevin Owens, going against Seth Rollins and his disciples. So you would think, but I guess not. So the OC won. What does it mean? Absolutely nothing. We'll probably get a rematch of it on Raw in 2 weeks or so, because that's how WWE works. So after that, we opened up the show with this next gauntlet match, because I guess that's a tradition. Hold on. I'm one-handed once again, because my stand wants to no-sell me today. So Jesus, this is hard. Y'all don't know how hard this is. So you scroll up. God. Okay, so it's the Tuwaiq Mountain Trophy Gauntlet match, named after a mountain in Saudi Arabia. It's a gauntlet match. Originally, Rusev was scheduled to be in it, but apparently he pulled out of the match, so he was replaced by Rey Mysterio, who ended up not even competing in the match. So the match started off with R-Truth and Bobby Lashley, because it's Black History Month. They started off. It was cool. It seemed as though they were trying to do a little mini story within the gauntlet match, because they wanted to kind of, build up R-Truth a little bit, because he had his WWE 24 special right after Super Showdown. So they kind of built stuff up. Him and R-Truth went at it for a second. R-Truth and Bobby Lashley went at it for a second. It ended with Bobby Lashley getting caught with a roll-up pin, and he got eliminated. So then after the match, Bobby Lashley just attacked R-Truth, threw him all around the ring, speared him, all types of stuff. It actually left R-Truth cut. So after that, Andrade makes his return to WWE, because he was out for 30 days because he failed the WWE wellness policy, which I still want to know what I want to know what's the drug that's getting people caught up, because first it was Andrade. Actually, no. First it was Primo, which was actually kind of bogus what they did to Primo. It's because he didn't want to travel to the States that they weren't even going to use him. So he just stayed in Puerto Rico, and it was like, all right, here's 30 days off, whatever. Bobby Roode got hit with a 30-day suspension, but he's back now. Andrade. And now recently Samoa Joe got hit with a 30-day suspension. I really want to know what he got caught with. Probably like some painkillers that aren't registered by the doctors. So, because I can't think of anything else. It's not like Joe is, no offense to Samoa Joe, he's one of the GOATs, but he's not like, buff or nothing. Got like a six-pack or whatever. So, It ain't the steroids. It can't be weed because Matt Riddle's the NXT Tag Team Champion and they feature him every week, so it can't be that. So I want to know what got my man Samoa Joe caught up. But anyways, Andrade came into the match. He started working on R-Truth's arm a lot in the match. He tried to go for stuff. R-Truth eventually reversed it, and he ended up getting another like sneaky pin on Andrade and eliminating Andrade. So after that, Eric Rowan came out. Him and R-Truth went at it. Eric Rowan was pretty much dominating. And I think it got to a point where it looks like R-Truth messed with Aaron Rowan's cage, and as a result, he hit him with the steel stairs and got eliminated. He eliminated himself. I guess they're still trying to build up Eric Rowan, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, so far they're building a story with R-Truth, I guess, you know, for the WWE 24 to make him not look like a geek, I guess. I don't know. After that, we ended up getting AJ Styles came out. He actually got a huge pop in Saudi Arabia. That's interesting. I never would have had expected that because, you know, AJ's a heel now. And what was the last? The last Saudi Arabia show he was a heel. Did he have a match? I'm trying to think. Did AJ have a match at Saudi Arabia? Yeah, he did. He faced Humberto Carrillo. How could I forget? It was a forgettable match. But yeah, he got a huge pop. He came out. He basically was just taunting R-Truth, like kicking the man while he was down, and every time he did it, he just started doing different dance moves because, you know, that's part of R-Truth's gimmick is that he dances and raps. So, like, AJ was doing the Running Man. He was doing all types of stuff. But then eventually he caught R-Truth with the calf crusher, and R-Truth tapped out, and he was officially eliminated. So after that, we're waiting on the final opponent in this six-man gauntlet match, which was supposed to be Mr. Rey Mysterio, Mr. 619, but his entrance plays twice. Then we see a video backstage of him getting jumped by the OC, and AJ Styles says, "Oh, look, Rey Mysterio can't compete. I guess I won." Then minutes later, the screen goes back up, and we see the OC get beat up backstage by a mysterious figure. And then as soon as Carl Anderson gets thrown to the ground, the camera is still like on the ground so you can see it. And then it just shows The Undertaker's feet, and the crowd popped. So after that, The Undertaker came out. 3 minutes later, the match started between him and AJ. He hit AJ with a choke slam. 1, 2, 3. Undertaker won the whole gauntlet match. And I guess it's also going to set up for that match at WrestleMania that's supposed to be planned. I'll get my thoughts and opinions on the match now while I'm at it. I would have enjoyed a match between Taker and AJ Styles if it was 10 years ago, honestly. Because 2010 Undertaker was still putting on good matches. He was having the match of his life with Shawn Michaels, the second one. Even though the one from 25 was better. We'll just say that match was still good in my opinion. Undertaker was still having good matches under his belt. I think that was probably like the last Mania where he was a full-time wrestler, I think. No, he was still full-time. It was 26. But yeah, Taker in 2010 or even 2009 versus AJ Styles in 2009 would have been a fire match. That would have been a WrestleMania main event, honestly. But yeah, I think the match could slap. I just don't want AJ Styles to work like a heel because there's a size difference between him and Taker. And him putting Taker in rest holds would be disgusting because there's a huge height difference. I would prefer a big man versus little guy match or something like that. That'd be interesting. I would prefer something like that. But we'll see what's going to happen next. Scroll up. I'm trying to remember what the next match was. So I don't have to constantly scroll up on Wrestling Inc. You know what? Why isn't this working? Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the next match we ended up getting was for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, The New Day versus Miz and Morrison. Returning team. John Morrison returned a couple months ago. He's back on SmackDown. He decided to team with The Miz. And now they're having a match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Match wasn't nothing special. I'm just going to get to the end. There was a part where Kofi Kingston was trying to go for one of his ridiculous dives on the outside. And I don't know if it was planned or not, but The Miz was supposed to catch him. I don't even know if The Miz was supposed to catch him, but you know, it's like a running gag that The Miz doesn't catch people when they go for dives. So he just moved out the way, and Kofi Kingston just like went back first into the he went like back first into the on the floor actually. I know that shit had to hurt. I don't know what happened to Big E. After that, there was a ref distraction, and The Miz hit Kofi Kingston with the chair, and John Morrison took advantage of it and pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. We have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions in Miz and Morrison. I believe this is probably their 4th time as tag champs, if I'm correct. And it's also ironic because they were like the tag team champions on ECW and SmackDown. So it's actually pretty interesting what they're doing with Miz and Morrison. I kind of like that they're doing this stuff with Miz and Morrison. I would much rather see them do something with them two than to just like kind of have Morrison in that awkward stage, like when they bring somebody back and then at that awkward moment where they're just having matches, but it's like not meaning anything. They're just doing it just to build up to something. So that's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. But hey, this should be interesting between Miz and Morrison. Hopefully, it leads to another feud between them. Maybe this time the Miz is the one that gets turned on and then they do something there. But hopefully John Morrison's not coddled in the tag team division. I actually want to see him do something. Maybe get another Intercontinental Championship reign or something, because you can't go from being the world champion in Impact Wrestling to being the just being the tag team champion on SmackDown. But anyways, I digress. The next match we ended up getting was a rematch from Monday Night Raw. Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo. It's a family affair, as you all know, because they are cousins, and commentary will not let me forget that they are cousins. This match itself, it was cool. I can't say I paid attention to most of it. I thought their match on Raw was much better from what I've seen this one. It really was just like the best of their matches from whatever happened on Raw. And it pretty much ended the same with both of them trading roll-up pins, and then Angel Garza ended up pinning him again, which I found interesting because usually what WWE does in feuds is they do this 50-50 booking shit. They have a wrestler win, and the wrestler that lost ends up winning the next week, and then the pay-per-view, they end up, whoever they want to win the feud wins the feud, and then that's it. And then that's your 50-50 booking, and you just have to deal with it. But no, Garza is actually on a roll. I don't think he's lost since he's been on TV. Like, he has not been pinned since he's been on TV, which actually scares me, because what WWE also likes to do is they'll have somebody just win, and then when they feel like they're done with them, they just become a jobber on Main Event or something. And then you're just like, damn, what could have been? But it's interesting to see what they're doing with Garza, even though I can almost guarantee it was like a temporary thing for him to be in this position, because Andrade failed the wellness policy. So now I want to see what they do. Is this a permanent move for Garza on the main roster? That would be interesting. Add more depth to the U.S. title division. But I also like the stuff he does in NXT. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But yeah, Garza won. I guess he won 2 matches against Carrillo. I see what they're doing with Carrillo, that they might be trying to get him over by having him lose, which is an interesting way to do it, because getting over as a face these days suck. Because, like, you could be the most over guy. For example, Seth Rollins. You could be the most over guy in the company, and then the fans will turn on you. Now, granted, Seth Rollins kind of deserved to get turned on by the fans, because he made all them stupid tweets about Will Ospreay and having more money. And, like, you can call yourself the best wrestler in the world. I have no problem with a wrestler calling himself the best wrestler in the world. You have to have that confidence. But, dumping on Will Ospreay and dumping and bringing up, like, I have more money than you and all the other bullshit and all the other stupid tweets he's made, that's why the fans turned on him. It's not because and then also he was not having good matches. He was having terrible matches, and he didn't have a character. But now Seth Rollins has an amazing character, which I love. Speaking of Seth Rollins, the next match we have is a Raw Tag Team title match. We have the Street Profits versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. Don't take off the Buddy. He's not Buddy Murphy anymore. It's just Murphy. And yeah, it was a tag team match. Street Profits got pyro. They came out with like a Saudi Arabia attire. It was like the flag colors, the green and the white. It was actually like no bullshit. A lot of shit Saudi Arabia does, it's crazy, it's unpredictable, it's ridiculous, but their flag colors slap. I ain't gonna stunt. It's probably because green's my favorite color. But anyways, we get the tag team match. Can't say I paid attention to it much. I saw the hot tag with Angelo Dawkins where he was just throwing people around. I love that about Street Profits matches. Montez Ford, I'm pretty sure he did athletic stuff. We get to the end of the match, and they do this spot where Buddy Murphy distracts the referee, and whoever is the victim gets distracted over the ropes, and then Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and curb stomps him on the apron, and then that's how they won the match. They also did like a camera shot with Street Profits looking upset, so this is probably setting up for another match they're probably going to have at either a future episode of Raw, because we have title changes on Raw now, or Elimination Chamber, which is like the next pay per view, and that shit is like within a week. Like, whoever plans these pay per views, like you got to give me time to breathe, dog. Like I can't. You just had this giant WrestleMania type show a tad bit, and then we got a whole nother pay per view to go to next. So it's whatever. Seth Rollins and Murphy won. I had no doubt that they were gonna lose in Saudi Arabia. I felt like if they were gonna lose, they would do it at like Elimination Chamber or something. But anyways, the next match we ended up getting was Dolph Ziggler versus Mansoor. This match was literally made. I think this match was probably made yesterday. Honestly, I don't remember them announcing this match. I haven't seen Mansoor on like NXT as a wrestler in I don't know how long. And I'm pretty sure he probably makes the most money besides Brock Lesnar in WWE because he only wrestles on the Saudi shows. Wrestling on the Saudi show gets you at least $1 million a match. Like, you get paid bread to wrestle these Saudi shows. Like, I remember Chris Jericho literally had a spot in the Greatest Royal Rumble for like 30 seconds. Like, he did not last long, and he got $1 million for that. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, that's why these wrestlers are wrestling in Saudi Arabia. They probably, already know it's like a terrible place to be in, but that bread, when that bread calls, bro, and you got stuff to take care of, you gonna take that deal. So, anyways. The match itself was cool. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to it just because I didn't care. There was no build up to it. It was just a match made. Mansoor ended up winning with the my fault. Mansoor ended up winning with the moonsault. And it seemed like his fucking legs hit Dolph Ziggler in the chest. So that was interesting. There was also another cool move Mansoor did where he did like it looked like it was going for a sliced bread number 2, but he somehow turned it into a DDT. I don't know how he did that, but that was lit. I ain't gonna lie, that was cool. I thought that was dope. And Ziggler did Ziggler stuff. But Mansoor won. He cut a promo, yada, yada, yada. So after that, we got the WWE Championship, Ricochet versus Brock Lesnar. Now, the story behind this match is that Ricochet feels that everyone is telling him he cannot beat Brock Lesnar, which we all know you ain't beating Brock Lesnar. Not by the way you've been booked or by the way it works out. Nobody beats Brock Lesnar unless you're like 6-something. So that's the build of the match. Ricochet comes out. He comes out in trunks, which was interesting, I guess, to say the least. Brock Lesnar came out. The match started. I'm literally going to describe you the entire match. Ricochet tried to go for a drop kick. Brock Lesnar said, fuck your drop kick. Hit that man with a suplex, a bunch of German suplexes, hit him with an F5. 1, 2, 3, he won. I wish I was lying. That was an entire WWE Championship match. And we're talking to the Universal Championship match. Like, we not having these 20-minute classics over here on the main roster. Fuck what the world title means. Hell no, we having 3-minute matches. If your match lasts more than 3 minutes for a world title match in WWE, you should be ashamed of yourself. But anyways, I guess the whole purpose of that match was for him to show Drew McIntyre that, he ain't something to fuck with. So I understood what the purpose of the match was. I just hate to see it to Ricochet. But Ricochet, I don't know what the fuck Ricochet finna do. I honestly see Ricochet being in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't see anything for it. As like terrible as it sounds, they have not done nothing with Ricochet. Ricochet has not been very interesting either. It goes both ways, so it is what it is. So after that, we got what's supposed to be the finale to this quote-unquote classic feud, from what Michael Cole said, between Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. And I guess the finale is a steel cage match. Once again, I was not paying attention to this match because I could care less. Like, I do not care about Baron Corbin. Roman Reigns, I fuck with Roman Reigns. He's dope. Baron Corbin, he's good at being a heel, but he just got the heat where I don't want to look at you, bro. That's how I feel about Baron Corbin. I don't want to look at you, dude. But anyways, we'll get to the match itself. Roman Reigns came out with a chain so he could lock the door himself to make sure that nobody escapes. And the match started with Corbin instantly on that with Roman attacking him. It was back and forth. We got a deep 6 for a near fall. There was another spot where it looked like Baron Corbin took the chain and he was about to use a Superman punch, and Roman reversed his Superman punch into his own Superman punch. Then we get to a point in every steel cage match in WWE almost where pretty much they fight on top of the cage. Looks like one wrestler's about to win if all he has to do is fall and he wins. But somehow Roman gets pulled back into the ring. They fight on the ropes. And then out of nowhere, Roman hits the Superman punch. Oh, he didn't even spear him? See, that's how much I didn't pay attention to it. He hits Baron Corbin with the chain with the Superman punch, and he won. 1, 2, 3. Roman wins. He gets the pose. The big dog wins. After that, we got the first ever women's championship match in Saudi Arabia. At the last show, Crown Jewel, we had the first ever women's match in Saudi Arabia between Lacey Evans and Natalya. Match was cool. And then we had this match, Naomi versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I thought the match was actually pretty good. The crowd was kind of dead, or it seemed like they were trying to get into it, but they just weren't. Or it wasn't picking up on whatever like audio interface they had for crowd reactions. The match itself was good. It's probably Bayley's best match since being a heel. And Naomi, she did her thing. Now, because they're in Saudi Arabia, they can't wear their full attire. So they both had on giant-ass, big show-size T-shirts. Because they have to cover certain things because, of how Saudi Arabia's culture works. Anyways, the match was fun to watch. Naomi hit a corkscrew planche on the outside. I thought that was really dope. Bayley ended up getting a lot of offense in. We get towards the end of the match. It looks like Naomi's about to go for her split leg moonsault. Bayley moves out of the way. Then there was a point where Bayley takes Naomi's legs and traps it in her T-shirt, and then ends up hitting the rose plant and wins, or whatever it's called. I'm gonna call it the rose plant because that's what she used to call it in the Indies. She hit the rose plant on Naomi after trapping her legs on the T-shirt. Boom, face first, 1, 2, 3. Bayley retains. She, holds her title to the crowd, and she, celebrates that she won. Yeah. Like I said, good match. It's probably, like I said, Bayley's best match, which is ironic because it's in fucking Saudi Arabia. Like, can she take this Bayley and actually be entertaining in America? We'll find out. The match itself was good. It seems as though they might be setting up a rematch between them two at either Elimination Chamber or hell, even Mania. Yeah, I don't know where Sasha Banks is gonna fit in all of this because she's actually been off of TV a lot. I don't even remember the last time I seen Sasha Banks, but yeah. Yeah. Oh shit. All right. So now we are at the main event of the pay-per-view, WWE Universal Championship. Goldberg, or I guess he's Bill Goldberg now. Like, all right. Versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Universal Championship match. The build-up is that Goldberg returned to SmackDown. Bray Wyatt interrupted. He said, Bray Wyatt, you're next. They do all this type of stuff. They did like a nice setup on the Go Home SmackDown because it was like the one SmackDown I actually watched in full, which is crazy because like I don't even watch SmackDown like that anymore on Fridays because it's just like I'd be having stuff to do. But there was a setup where Bray Wyatt was like, he wants to meet you, and then Goldberg, unlike any other face, wasn't scared to see the Fiend or nothing. He instantly speared the Fiend and was like, come on, get up. And as soon as that happened, the Fiend looked at him and then disappeared. So the match itself, it started out, they got their entrances. No red lights. I had to celebrate that on Twitter. No red lights because I've suffered enough. I suffered in real life with the red lights for Fiend matches. I'm glad they got rid of it. So the match started. Goldberg instantly speared Bray Wyatt. He kicked out of it. Looks like he was going to... How many spears? Did he go for another spear? It looked like he was going for something else, and Bray Wyatt put the mandible claw on, but Goldberg fought out of it. He speared him like 4 more times. Bray Wyatt kicked out of it. Bray Wyatt tried to go for the mandible claw again. It looked like it was going to work this time. And then Goldberg kicked out of it, headbutt him, kneed him, and then went for the jackhammer. 1, 2, 3. He won. I wish I was joking. The match was like 3 minutes, I think. The Ricochet match was like 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think. This match was like 3 minutes. They did like a little stare down, too, to extend the time of the match. But yeah, I said a lot on Twitter, and I said a lot in my like wrestling group chats, so I'm just going to keep it short. Fuck you, Vince. Fuck you, WWE. Fuck you, Vince. What the fuck? Who wants to see a 53-year-old be the world champion? I don't. I don't think none of the fans do because everybody was not fucking with this. How do you sit up here and put Bray Wyatt in this situation to begin with? Fuck him being champion. He should have never been champion to begin with. Like, I was happy that he won the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel, but they already fucked the Fiend up when they put him in a title match just to have him, do the shit with all that bullshit with Seth Rollins. They fucked the Fiend up from the beginning. He wasn't even supposed to be champion because then he was going to be put in this position. And then my question is, why do we constantly have to rely on these old-ass, part-timing-ass motherfuckers to carry the show when they ass don't even be here for more than a Mania and a paycheck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have so many fucking people on your roster that you just keep in catering, and you have so many people on there and you don't even give them characters or nothing to keep them interested so you can make stars. Because in this fucking company, they don't want nobody to be bigger than the company because they know their ass is going to leave and become bigger than what they ever were in WWE. Hence, case point, The Rock, John Cena, Batista. They don't want nobody to be bigger than the brand. So everybody is going to be a fucking geek. And whenever they want the big stars that they're supposed to be making with the niggas that's on their roster, they bring in motherfuckers like Goldberg and Undertaker and fucking Hulk Hogan, because we all know he's coming back for a match sooner or later, and he's going to bury somebody that's, could have been world champion in the near future. That's how I feel about it. I don't want to fucking see Goldberg as the Universal Champion. It's already fucking bad enough we got Brock Lesnar as the WWE Champion. Now we got Goldberg as the fucking champion. We are never going to see these world champions on their shows. Fuck these fucking titles. They mean absolutely nothing. I don't know, bro. I'm not even about to go into it about it. I don't care anymore. I might be on my last leg with this shit, bro. I don't know. I forgot. After the match, The Fiend no-sold the jackhammer, but he couldn't no-sold kicking out of it. He stared at Goldberg. Goldberg just looked at him and he disappeared. So whatever. I guess the planned match now is we're going to see Roman versus Goldberg. Ooh, wow. Who the fuck gives a fuck? And then we're going to see Cena versus The Fiend, which I guess could be interesting, but fuck WWE. I hate Vince McMahon. I can't wait till Vince McMahon croaks. I honestly mean that. This company, like CM Punk has never said it better. This company will be better off when Vince McMahon fucking dies. Because if he thinks this shit is acceptable, the company's stock is going to go down. The ratings are going to constantly go down because they're never going to rise again. Because Vince thinks this shit is okay. And nobody has the fucking balls to tell him otherwise. Because, if you get fired, you can't go work for another company, my nigga. But anyways, let me not go too far because I'm losing my voice. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Do to support me. I have my AEW Revolution review coming soon. If I'm not doing nothing that Saturday, because it is on a Saturday, you'll probably get it Sunday morning. And then, you'll get the Elimination Chamber review, the next NXT TakeOver, WrestleMania, of course, and then whatever AEW show comes in May. Hopefully, I'll be, in the crib by then. I think I should be home by then. But anyway, guys. Like I said, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Follow me on my social media links down in the description below. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.